Welcome back. We're playing some Cities and Knights with the Seafarers expansion tied in. This is the Fog Islands. So you have all these surrounding islands, and they have little treasure chests that usually net you more cards, resource cards, not city improvement cards. The coin, cloth, and paper. You're not going to find those in there. It would be nice, but you can either get resource cards, or sometimes they'll even give you 2 extra ships or roads in those treasure chests. But we're going to play by exclusively building on wheat, sheep, and ore to start with. And it wasn't on purpose, really. It was kind of just what looked good. And I was really banking on Red not building their city on the 8 sheep, 10 sheep, 5 wheat, which thankfully they did not. They went for the stone, which is actually a smarter choice. Having the possibility to get coin and stone off a 4 and a 6 was a very, very good deal for them. And yeah, we're just trying to basically just win the game. No crazy challenge here. I mean, we kind of accidentally started out by doing the 3 resources only challenge, but I've already done that in another video. But I just knew I needed a lot of wheat, and because I'm mostly built, the only other person built on wheat is green. So I know there's going to be some trades in it for me when people come calling for the wheat. So I can kind of use it to leverage it to get more cards than just a 1-for-1 trade. You'll see later on I'll get like 2 cards for 1 wheat, which is pretty good because, you know, you got to activate your knights for when the barbarians come, and you need wheat. And who's got the wheat? I've got the wheat. So they say no wheat equals defeat, and look at that. I get 2 wood for 1 of my wheat, and I already have my knight activated, so I'm like, that's totally fine. I have 5 wheat, so I'll get rid of 1. And now I have 2 wood that I would never have gotten because, look, the closest wood to me is that 12 wood with the wood port over by my 9 wheat. And I'm eventually going to build on it later, but I'm in no rush to go over to that 12 wood. You know, the likelihood of a 12 getting rolled, albeit it's possible, it's just very small. So the barbarians are about to come in. My knight is activated. I don't got to worry about that. And I'm so close. I don't have the right combination to get a city, because sometimes I like to go 2 cities early on. And instead I'm going to build a road, and I'm going to try to get a settlement going on that 8 sheep, 10 sheep. And here we go, roll a 9. And Red is going to get Defender of Catan. And you'll notice that Red gets Defender of Catan multiple times. And it's not the biggest game changer getting, you know, let's say you get more than 5 Defender of Catans, then okay, that's like something you should look at. But in this game he might get like 3. It's not a huge deal because you have to keep your knights, you know, activated every single time the barbarians are coming in, and later on in the game other people are going to be competing with you, so you gotta just waste, in my opinion, waste a lot of resources, a lot of ore, wheat, and sheep to keep your knight army bigger and better and activated than the other players. So mainly I just use knights just to keep my cities from getting downgraded to settlements by the barbarians. So that's kind of how I play it, as green is the first to discover a fog island, but it's a 2 wheat, so that kind of sucks. I mean, you still get whatever resource you discover, you get 1 of that. So he got 1 wheat, and he just discovered that wood, so he gets 1 wood off the 6 wood. And since this is the Fog Island scenario, when you build a settlement on one of those islands, you get 1 point for the settlement, and you get an additional point for building on a new island. So a total of 2 victory points. So it kind of behooves you to do that, if I'm saying that word right. I know what the word means. They're trying to get my pronunciation down. So I'm going to get 2 stone for 1 of my wheat, and it's going to not allow me to build a city because I still need 1 more wheat, but I'm going to take it because I'm built on way more wheat than I'm built on stone, so chances are if I don't roll a 7, I'm going to roll wheat. I do end up rolling sheep, but at this point I'm just trying to upgrade my city improvements so I can eventually get a metropolis. And you want to upgrade your city improvements, you know, spending your coin, your cloth, your paper as quickly in the game as possible so you can get your progress cards coming in off the dice rolls as soon as early in the game as you can, because in my opinion the progress cards in Cities and Knights is the hugest game changer. You could change the game with just 4 progress cards, even just 2 or 3. You can really change the game and, you know, slow someone way down from what they were, you know, planning on doing and boost yourself really ahead. And Green is just building ships out the wazoo as he finds the desert hex. I don't think you get, well, actually you do get salvage treasure, so I think you get a brick, a sheep, and a wheat if you discover a desert hex or nothing, or just water. So that's pretty good, actually. That's a good trade-off. You spend a wood and a sheep, but if you get salvage treasure, you get 3 cards, whereas you only spent 2 to get the 3 cards. So you gain a card. You're just not getting wood, because the salvage treasure, like I said, is brick, wheat, and sheep. Of course, I roll a 7. It's always my luck that I roll a 7. And you see Red got another Defender Catan victory point, so he's up to 7. And on the Fog Island scenario, you play up to 16 victory points. For some of you guys that are only playing, or gals that are only playing basic Catan, where you only play to 10 points every single time, unless of course you're playing the Harbor Master scenario where you play to an additional 11 victory points instead of 10. The Fog Islands, you gotta kind of carve out some time in your day for a good hour and a half at least, because 16 victory points is, I mean, it's not double the time of a basic Catan game, but it could be, you know, depending on how slow the other players are, because you have so many different options to earn points compared to basic Catan that you just have to play around with it, and you have to do whatever will set you up for the next part of the game. So early on, I'm just furiously upgrading the cities early on and boosting up my city improvements as fast as I can. And then midway through the game, that's when I start expanding out. So you see, now I have my city on that, my 3rd city. It's on that 10 sheep, 8 sheep, 5 wheat, and I built a road out to that wood port with that 12 wood. I'm not really worried about the 12 wood, but I want to build on the wood port just to have a port, and so I can start building ships out to that Fog Island to the left of your screen, because no one else is contesting for it, and I might as well see what's out there, because some of these Fog Islands in the Fog Island scenarios contain gold. So if I strike gold, you know I'm going to build in that gold, even though it's going to get shut down by whoever rolls a 7, but it's gold. You know, you get one of whatever resource card you want. You don't get a coin, cloth, or paper from it, but you can get one of the other 5. So I have 1 ship out there. I need 1 more ship to touch that hidden Fog Island hex, and I will discover what that is. So yeah, halfway through the game, I'm branching out from my cities and building settlements, and then about 3/4 of the way through the game, I expect to be in prime position to get a metropolis. As you see, Red has one on his trusty 4 ore, 6 ore, 2 sheep, and he just discovers a 9 ore. And does he have a... No, Green has the ore port. So that was very smart for Green to start with their settlement on the 3 wheat, 6 ore with the port, and just build a gazillion ships off of there. So yeah, 3/4 of the way through, I get my metropolis, as you see. Now, me and Red both have metropolises, and I believe Green is going to get the paper metropolis pretty soon here. So what else do I want to do 3/4 of the way through? I might want to try to steal someone else's metropolis, which is, you know, pretty cheeky, but I think that's really fun to do. But since I saw Red build a settlement on that gold hex and get the extra victory point for it, so the 2 victory points for building on a new island, I'm going to do the same. I don't have a good setup. It's a 3 wheat, 4 sheep on that island over there, but it's still going to net me 2 victory points. And now we're kind of at this point, we're about 3/4 of the way through, where Red's in the lead, but I use my Master Merchant, and you can look at the person's entire hand when you have Master Merchant and take 2 cards of your choice, and then you know what they have left over that you didn't take. So if you had a resource monopoly, you could kind of combo that play, where you could take just you know, you could take a brick and a wood from them, but they had 2 wheat. So you just play Resource Monopoly right after your Master Merchant, and then take their 2 wheat. So you take in 4 cards from them, plus whatever any other players have from that Resource Monopoly. So you just gotta learn to play the progress cards right to get the maximum advantage for yourself. It's just so much fun. And here I have 2 merchant cards, so I'm not really worried if anybody else takes merchant from me, but they never do, so it's fine. And Deserter was very crucial because see the barbarians at the top left? They are 1 dice roll away from invading. So I just stole Red's level 2 knight, put it on my area as one of my knights, upgraded my city, so I'm at 14, so I'm 2 away from winning. The barbarians come in. That knight I stole made me the defender of Catan because I had the most knights on that sequence. So now I just boosted myself up to 15 victory points. I'm 1 victory point from winning. So it's all about the timing and what you build to further yourself along to the next point in the game. So keep that in mind. I mean, you could just build stuff at random, but you gotta weigh your options. What's gonna, set you up for the next phase of your game to just keep moving you along. Progression, Basic Catan, you're just kind of building up your stuff. You're just kind of building to whatever's open just to get to those 10 points. But when you're playing to 16, you really need to set yourself up for halfway to 3/4 way through to have a bunch of resources and progress cards coming in, because that's going to keep funneling your game and keep that production coming in. Is going to keep allowing you to build more and more points, and it almost accelerates the later half of the game because that many resources coming in. Look, I have 13 cards right now, and if my merchant's already on wheat, and I have 2 extra merchants, and at this point I've won the game because 11 wheat, and I can trade in at a 2-for-1 rate, and all I need to do is build 1 road off of my network or 1 ship in a settlement, and I win. Like, that's awesome. I was gonna take Longest Road earlier, but then I saw how many roads and ships that Green built in a single continuous line, so I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. Let me just build 1 more victory point and get out of here with a win. And Red I was a little worried about, but Red kind of slowed down because they didn't build as many cities as me, so that kind of helped out. And then you see Green had a Metropolis and also got to 15 victory points, almost beat me, so I kind of had to win on this turn. So if I did not have Merchant on this turn, trading in my wheat at a 2-for-1 rate, I would have certainly lost this game, I'm sure of it. So let me plop down this settlement, make sure I have all the cards to do so. 1 wood, 1 brick, 1 sheep, and 1 wheat, and we are the winner. So you can play Catan in a normal fashion, as I've discovered. Just make sure you think things through, especially in Cities and Knights, because there is a lot more strategy going on compared to Basic Catan, which is why I love this mode so much. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you have any suggestions, also put them there. See you later. Take care.